is one of the most important methods used in data mining and natural language processing. This method is very important because it allows you to distinguish the data between each other by using some attributes which are important. The decision tree is used for classification and prediction. This is one of the issue of data mining and in natural language processing. In classification, it is used in order to dispatch elements over classes. This is important. We will see other methods, but this one is really interesting. And the idea is that we have to choose among in attributes the elements which allow for better decision. The idea is to choose the attribute that allows at each time to have maximum number of elements per node. And this process is repeated until the convergence. Okay? It is based on trees, as what you say in computer science. And of course, we use recursive algorithm and things like that. Before starting, I give you a small example, which is called the walk the dog. We would like to keep information, to have an idea about how a system run. Yeah, I mean, we would like to have something which looks like what the brain of human being does, and we would like to extract this information or this knowledge. So, suppose that you have an old woman with her neighbors, and one of the neighbor have a dog, another one have a cat. And of course the dog with the cat are not the best friends in the world. So, and this old woman would like to understand how, at what time, or what are the conditions that make his neighbor with the dog going outside and walk the dog. So the attributes are, what is the weather like? It means rainy, sunny, cloudy. The outdoor temperature, which is a numerical attribute, and the neighbor living with his cat, which is a Boolean attribute. And the decision to take is to walk or not the dog. Okay? With his experiments, every day this woman opened the window and looks outside about and try to understand what happened with her neighbors. And with this information, she built this tree. And she understood that his neighbor walked the door when the following conditions are true. The first question the neighbor asked himself is, what is the weather like? So if the weather is cloudy, then he asked himself about the temperature. If the temperature is greater than 10 degrees, he walks the dog. If the temperature is smaller, he stays at home. The second condition is if the weather is sunny. The other condition is the neighbor away. If the neighbor is away, he walks the dog. And in the other case, he stays at home. And if the weather is rainy, he stays at home. But these trees has been built by a human being brain, not by computer. We are computer science here, scientists here, and we would like to develop the same decision tree automatically. We have to learn this kind of decision tree. For example, if we have this sample of data, we have 8 data here concerning people with their characteristics or their features, about the size, the hair color, the eyes color, and so on. And we would like to build a decision tree concerning this one. Here we don't have decision. Here we have just a problem of clustering. Okay. So here we can have this decision tree. We start by the color of the hair, and then here for this one we have the size and so on. Okay? But we can have another one. We can start by the size. Okay? And we can have all the combination, all the possible combinations when we start with one attribute and then we have to choose other attributes. So that is why we need to use some mathematical information as the quantity of information. This quantity of information is given by the formula quantity of information E is equal to minus logarithm of the probability of the event E. This is an event. So how we can interpret this curve? The curve, we can say the following things. If the probability of the event is really important, it means that the quantity of information is very small. Guess that I tell you that tomorrow at 8 o'clock we will be, today we are Monday. If I tell you tomorrow at 8 o'clock we'll be on Tuesday, is it an information for you? It's not an information. This is something which is obvious. So the probability that tomorrow will be on Tuesday, given the information that today we are on Monday, is equal to 1. So I don't bring any information. Now, if I tell you that maybe next Monday for our next course, Mr. Barack Obama will attend this course, the probability that it will happen is equal to 0. But if it happens, it will be a scoop, something which is very important, and then the quantity of information is important. So this quantity of information will be using another formula, which is what we call the entropy, and we will say that later in this course. Thank you.